2023. And I want to give a shout out to everybody out there all over the world showing support, subscribing, liking, commenting. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button right there, and we're going to keep on bringing you this content weekly. The Bonnie and Clyde Show, Mr. Criminal On Air Live, music videos, shorts, the lifestyle, behind the scenes in the music studio. You know how this shit goes. It's cracking the show, boy, Mr. Criminal, and I want to present our sponsors of the week. That's right. The Bonnie and Clyde Show and Mr. Criminal On Air Live are sponsored by Illegal Image Clothing. That's right. You can check them out at www.illegalimageclothing.com. And then we got my homeboy that's getting everybody ready for the summertime, getting yoked up, getting all proper and stuff. JB_fitness. That's right. JB_FTNS on Instagram. You can check him out, follow him, get your regimens right. And then we got my brother punching back in LA County. His name is Attorney Rosenberg. That's right. Follow him at Attorney Rosenberg on Instagram, and you guys can follow him. He's punching back, defending Southern California. Then we got my people at LA Kush, Los Angeles Kush, with some of that good. They came through with some of that Bloodwalker, some of that OG. Julio G came through with it. I want to give you guys the props and shout outs. Matty Ice Fitness, my personal trainer, his baby girl, Mr. Criminal. We are trained by Matty Ice Fitness. Give him a follow. We're getting our regimens right. We're getting our nutrition in. We're getting our workouts crazier than ever, all because of Matty Ice. So I want to give a salute up to Kings. That's right, Rap Kings _LV. If you guys want to get your walls, businesses wrapped, vehicles, they do it all. So make sure you guys let them know that Mr. Criminal sent you. And last but not least, we got Tradecraft Farms. That's right, the homie Daniel Rodriguez of the UFC pulled up this week and tapped in with a bag of that Tradecraft, and we've been in touch. So I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. Make sure you guys give them a follow. Make sure you guys show some love and support. Fucking cheap ass. This is Veronica. It's Monica. On Air Live. We gotta get an American made one. Yeah. And we back, baby. Mr. Criminal live on air. The most active podcast on the West Coast. And we back, baby. Episode number 7. And we live. And today we got a special guest. I'm proud to have different people in the chair that, in some accounts, some people never thought these conversations would never happen. Even myself. But we back. And we have a special guest, like I said. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring someone to the table that's been putting in a lot of work in the game, from camera work to being part of a hip-hop group, to now being a podcaster himself on a very known network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Eyekon. What's cracking, homie?
What up, what up, what up?
You already know.
Pleasure to be here, bud.
And I want to give a shout out to the homie for pulling up last minute notice. Yeah, we in here. Before we get into that though, Critical.
Yo, what's up, my boy?
We were talking about some news.
Oh yeah, man.
What we got?
For the first time, and it's been 34 seasons.
Wow.
For the first time, all 4 California NBA teams made it to the playoffs.
Damn.
That's intense.
That's
real
intense, right?
It's a Cali battle, huh?
Yeah. You got the Warriors against the Kings, I believe, first round.
Killer.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be fun.
Killer.
Who we going for?
I
know.
Come on, huh? So this is a Laker gang on mine. You already know. What about Eyekon? He looks all serious right there.
I don't keep up with basketball too much anymore, but I mean, I'll go with the Lakers on it. Fuck it.
That's right. I love it. And I love the Ben Davis hat, homie. You representing. Shout out to the
Mandatory.
homies at Ben Davis. You already know I tapped in with them. But yeah, that's how we do it. 2023. It's gonna be some money bet in California. There's gonna be a lot of betting going on. A lot of hustlers on the side getting there. The hustle on Critical. I'm gonna have to bet you who you going for the Kings?
Nah, man, come on.
I didn't even know I didn't even know the Kings. I said
he's mad at me because I go for the Angels. That's why.
Hey, when
You're an Angels fan?
Yeah, that's where everything gets fucked up.
Here
right?
we go.
You're a crazy guy.
All right, the whole podcast is gonna shut off right now. This is how we do it.
Are you from
2022.
Orange County?
Nah.
Then why?
I'm right here from Corona.
All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
It was my first baseball game. But no, I'm going for the Lakers, man. Come on.
Hey, yeah, he said the pressure's on him. He didn't want it, Eyekon. But yeah, that's how we do it,
crazy.
2023. So we're going to start like this. Fuck the news. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna highlight something important that's special to me. That I think that there needs to be more stand-up homies like you in the game. I tapped in with you on a serious issue.
Yeah.
And you had no hesitation. You tapped back in. You were like, "This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is." So before we get into anything else, I want to make sure that we let it be known that our first initial conversation was on something that we didn't really agree on. Well, I thought we weren't going to agree on.
Yeah.
But you came back and you brought some facts that you said that you had. So we'll get into that. But I want to highlight that that's an important thing, that instead of us fighting or arguing or DMing back and forth, they're like, nah, fuck this, fuck that, pull up anything like that. You're like, let's have a productive discussion. And you're like, if we're going to have this discussion just about this, we can have it here. And I told you as a man, nah, it ain't even like that. I'm going to highlight what you do in the game. I'm going to highlight everything that you've been doing. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. So that's how we do it. 2023, we got motherfucking Eyekon in the building. So let's start from the beginning, homie. Was it video work or the campaign? Let's highlight this.
First, it was me just rapping by myself with the homies in El Sereno or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it turned into some camera shit. So I knew you, I knew Critical, I knew these fools. And then I started taking pictures of you, him.
Hell yeah.
You knew somebody, they knew somebody.
That's
I was
dope.
rapping the whole time, whatever. And then just... one was feeding the other, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, now I'm taking pictures of Mac 10. You know Owlboy, I was taking pictures of Owlboy back in the early days.
Yeah.
Frank Nitty and all the people that were around him, like Any Means and Smoke Major and Shit Badass. Even, when the real Freeway Rick Ross came home, I was the first person to take his picture.
I remember that.
Shit.
I remember that.
So, yeah, that's just pretty much how it went. It started off like that, and it was just photos, and then I somehow or another, I was shooting a J-Rock and Owlboy video. And I was shooting with a little Sony Handycam. I'm pretty sure you're familiar or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was behind the scenes. And when I got home, I asked him to send the track. I put the track in the little editing software. Miraculously, it synced up. And I was like, shit, I could shoot a music video.
Hell yeah.
And
just like
the
that.
rest is history.
Hell yeah.
That's a really abbreviated version, but that's what it is.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
you did what I did in the beginning. It wasn't because I wasn't feeling the cameraman. It was just like, I hustled too fast. I didn't want to wait for the edit. I didn't want to wait for the dude to pull up. It's like, we're going to shoot a video right now. I need the video tomorrow. It's different people have different type of hustles. So what was the first camera you had picked up?
The very, very first camera I used was a D60, but the first camera I shot a music video on was a Canon T2i. That was the first camera that you could do HD video on and take photos.
The D60 was a Nikon, right?
Yeah, the D60 was a Nikon. That's what I started taking the pictures with.
Yeah, a lot of people preferred the Nikons for photos and the Canon for like video, like DSLRs and shit
And I think
like
it's
that.
safe to say now Sony runs the world.
Sony took that whole shit over.
Yep,
It made it way more convenient, a little bit. I think the color accuracy is a little bit better, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So going from the hustle, from the camera to rapping, then you got into the group, the campaign.
Nah, yeah. So I was doing the solo shit somehow or another. I did a photo shoot for the homie that we formed the campaign with, Zapata the Ghost and the homie Cloudy and Little Demon. And we just did we were like the West Coast Wu-Tang, but we were homies, you know what I mean? Everyone was from different spots. One homie was, as you know, some homies were from the west side over there. I'm from the east side. Little Demon was from northeast. We had another homie that was also from West LA, and we all just... we're on some hip-hop shit. I don't want to say some lyrical miracle because we were still on some gang shit, but it was some, I guess, some smart gang shit. You know what I'm saying? Like street hop is what we call that shit. You know what I mean? So.
And it's dope because one of the homies, Zapata, was from my area.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I know a lot of my homies went to high school with him. A lot of my homies was like, hey, the homie Zapata's fucking rapping too. So it was a trip to see him doing this thing because, you know, we all know different people from the same area and shit. I never actually lived right there in my hood, like had an address. My mom never lived there. Yeah. But I always bounced back and forth with my homies staying in the couches, you know, back being there 3, 4 months at a time.
Yep.
So we would hear. He's like, oh shit, this fool's rapping from this hood. This homie's rapping from this hood. And it was dope to see the homie. And I know, shout out to homie Zapata. I know my homeboy Villain from my neighborhood still in good touch with him. I know he got a studio somewhere like in Redlands or something. So
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. So why do you think it was harder for that to be accepted out here on the West Coast? Because I know you guys were spitting. I know you guys had bars, but it wasn't really accepted in our, what were we pushing? You know what I'm saying?
Well, for Chicano rap, I would have to say, and I'll give you your flowers now, you and Capone are like the face of Chicano rap. There's no question about that. High Power is probably the most well-known and maybe even profitable record label that we ever had out here. I don't know the numbers really, but I mean, just as a general standpoint, you, Low Pro, Southland, who else? Am I missing anyone?
Nah,
along those lines, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
you guys were on some other shit, you obviously were probably one of the best rappers there. You and Malo Mac were probably the best rappers out of High Power, in my personal opinion. I didn't really, no offense, I didn't really listen to your guys' shit like that because it wasn't really up my alley. But, yeah, we were on some, I guess, we were on some regular hip hop shit. Like I said, just talking some street shit.
Hell yeah.
We never said the N word in our raps, so. Oh, maybe Slum the Resident might have said Slum the Resident from West LA.
I think it's from Echo Park, no?
He ain't from Echo Park, but yeah, he's definitely from the 90026
right.
or what have you. So yeah, you know, getting the typical, these fools are trying to sound black, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this was in the beginning before there was the little weirdos and the wave of all the new homies that are doing their thing. I'm not trying to say we paved the way, but we were definitely one of the first fools
That's
rapping.
ahead of your time for sure.
Yeah, we were definitely rapping on some other shit, you know what I'm saying? So.
Hell yeah. My homeboy Villain really fucked with you guys' shit. My homeboy Villain was like into that type of hip hop, like big, like heavy bars, that type of like spitting.
Yeah.
He would always be telling me like, hey, the homies from Campaign put it on, you know? But
that's tight.
We were in so many different worlds. Like you guys were in that hip hop cypher world and we're out there like doing car show shit. It was just two different worlds. So
no, absolutely.
It wasn't that we didn't have respect for it. It's just we acknowledged
it was two different lanes.
It was just two
different lanes,
yeah.
absolutely.
It never made sense. He was like, you should do some shit with Zapata. And I was just like, to me, it didn't really like, I couldn't hear our sounds like blending. You know,
I totally feel it.
What the streets created, all this gangster shit, and then him like spitting some hard like shit like that. I'm pretty sure these days it would mesh a little bit better, but back then it didn't really make sense. Now, with that being said, I want to highlight something that bothers me, and I'm gonna hold homies and anybody with brown skin accountable. And I think this is fucked up. And I see this and I get a little pissed. And I'm gonna put motherfuckers in the hot seat. And I don't mean you, homie, because I don't see this coming from you. But I do see a lot of other podcasters and people with
a platform
that could give us some love that never do. And it pisses me off. So the other day I was seeing King Little G was on Community, right?
I didn't watch that, but yeah, I think I seen something about that.
I skimmed through it real quick because they were telling me like always, I'm not even gonna lie. Call it narcissistic, whatever, but I never seen Hood Stocks in my life until they told me they mentioned my name, so I just checked it out, see what the shit he was talking about.
I get it.
They were saying they shouted me out on the Community, so I checked it out. But one thing I do notice is they'll give props. Our own people don't ever want to give props. They take the shortcut and they take the route to exit out. And I'm gonna bring up a specific situation, and this is something that's been happening for years, homie. Like, they'll ask on these podcasts, what about this? What about this? And motherfuckers duck the question. So I don't know when it was, but someone tagged me in it, and it was Duno, a white dude, and AD, and they were sitting on the couch.
All right.
And it still had the No Jumper logo because it must have been a couple months ago, but they were asking them, who's the top rappers of all time, right? And there were Eminem, all the usuals. And then the white boy in the middle was like, yo, Duno, what do you think about, Hispanic rappers? And AD was emphasizing it. He kind of like brushed it off. And he's like, yeah, well, if anybody was popping while I was in high school, it was like King Little G fool, and he might have said what it did. But he's like, but I listen to Mac Miller, homie, And it's like, the dude looked at him like he was like, what? Like, he's like, you smoke weed? And he's like, no, I don't smoke weed, but that's what I was listening to. And it's just like, to me, that's a dismissal. To me, that's some fucking punk shit. Like, I'm not gonna call the homie punk, but that action, we need to take more responsibility. We need to be more proud of our people. Like, he could have used that platform and been like, fuck yeah, King Little G, we got homies out here with brown skin rapping. We got Drummer Boy, we got a Campaign. There used to be a group named Campaign that spit like a motherfucker that could outspit half these blacks out here. Like, where's the pride? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like us as people in the community, that's why I'm doing my podcast. Cause it's like nobody gives us our props. Nobody does it right. It's like we have to have our own shit. These motherfuckers take our screenshots and take shit, talk about Blueface gets robbed for a chain and use my picture with my homies from my neighborhood in the park and get a million fucking views with the Swifty Blue Cat and talk
hilarious.
about Blueface. So my whole point is this. It's no disrespect to none of them. Whoever's doing it, I don't even think Swifty Blue knew that. It's whoever's clipping shit, right?
Yeah.
So my whole point is, people want to highlight the bad. Nobody ever wants to highlight the good. What do you think it's going to take? Being now that you're in a position of power over there and you have a voice, so what's it going to take, homie?
And in defense of Duno, because that is my little homie, he's actually the person that put me in position over there. I mean, he didn't give me my job over there or anything, but he took me up there and they liked whatever the bullshit I was talking, whatever, what have you. He's a little kid, fool, so he's like, what, 22, 23, so maybe he don't know any better. He didn't face the same struggles and tribulations that we went through, trying to come up, trying to break through the ceiling note. And maybe he really only listened to Mac Miller. Maybe he only was aware of King Little G and Drummer or what have you. Could he have said more? Absolutely, you know what I'm saying? But in that same sentence, I'm going to say that maybe he was just being true to himself, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really think anything of it. He wasn't seeing beyond.
I see that.
as far as me and my position, I my podcast, The Sauce, which is barely starting to percolate or whatever, barely starting off, nowhere near this or No Jumper or anything, just starting off with me and my homie Smoke. We're focusing primarily on brown homies, specifically, because that's what I'm well versed in. I've shot every fucking homie except for you and Capone, the only people I haven't filmed.
Yeah.
Frost, Little Rob, fucking everyone, literally everyone.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, that's what I know. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm up there at No Jumper, I have no problem talking about our brown skin and what we do, or making little jokes when everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, people make little jokes. I'm down to joke back. I have no problem. I'm very slick. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem talking shit neither. So I don't know. It's just a generational thing. I think the younger generations just don't know what it is, G. You know what I'm saying?
I agree to that. And that's what I was about to highlight. And I didn't want to cut you off, but you were saying the little homie's a youngster.
Yeah.
Maybe he don't know. Well, then it's
on
for
us to
people
put
like
him on.
that to put them on there, homie. So little do know, the little homie from the area, you know, I tapped in with you before. It's all love. I mean this with nothing but love. I send this message with love and
you
respect.
fools are from the same area
yeah,
too.
homie,
No
you know
bullshit.
what I'm saying? It's like, I don't feel like people...
Specifically.
Yeah, and it's like motherfuckers do everything they can. But then I got a room full of Crips that'll be like, shout out to Mr. Criminal, real nigga.
They're
out
older.
there.
They're
Come
older.
on, homes. You know
They're
what I'm
much
saying?
older, though,
Nah,
fool.
but I got Zoe Osama tapping in. I got one of the hottest cats out here. They got one of the biggest songs out here. That dance track that's cracking from all on TikTok.
How old is Zoe Osama?
I really don't know, but I know he ain't one of these older cats. He ain't definitely.
But
ain't
he
one of
also
these
makes
older
music,
cats.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But my whole point is this: we have a responsibility, and I just want to highlight to our community that if you guys ever get in a position to highlight us, don't take the exit, because I'm only bringing up Duno because I just saw that 2 days ago.
No, absolutely.
And this shit's been happening the whole 24 years I've been in the game.
Forever.
So it's like, come
literally
on.
forever.
And they just highlighted, I was just getting ready to come over here, and the homie FKM had a response about King Little G being on that same show.
Yeah.
And I guess they said something like, yeah, they were giving him and drummer props, like, yeah, you know, we give you props. You guys' shit is better than the last shit. It's so good, we damn near almost like it. Something like that, right? So it's like, it's becoming too common for all cultures to not give us our props.
Yeah.
So it's getting to the point where it reminds me of that interview with Tupac where he's like talking about knocking on the door. Where he's like, at first we're hungry, we're gonna knock, and we're gonna be like, can you please let us in? After a while, the knock gets harder. Now you start kicking out. Now at the end, we kicking the door with a strap. Like, everybody get on the motherfucking ground. That's why I pretty much feel I'm at. I'm tired of asking for respect. I'm tired of, now we're gonna take this shit. Cause I'm gonna say this.
You have to ask
clear.
for respect after everything you've done.
It's the community.
That's
homes.
crazy, fool.
Nah, it's not me. I'm cool. I'm straight. I'm right here in my compound. I got 7 lowriders. I got brand new whips, everything, exotics. I'm cool. But I'm riding for my people. And since I got in this motherfucker, I always said I would ride for my people. So the fact that they don't give us respect on the whole culture, when we as Latino rappers out here on the West Coast done sold, in our heyday, 90% out, if you weren't Dr. Dre, Snoop, or Tupac on the catalog, you weren't outselling us in our heyday.
Facts.
Like, come on, Holmes, where the fuck's the respect? So that's where I'm getting at. It's like when I see these little moments, that shit pisses me off and fires me up. So I wanted to bring that up to you to have a educated response, because I know that you're in that seat. And I know that if it came to you, you might shed some light on it. And if you didn't before, maybe this conversation will make it happen.
Nah, yeah. But so with that being said, what I will say for our people is the Brown Bag Podcast is an all Latin cast.
That's dope.
On Power 106 every single morning.
That's hard.
And I think the other side has even said something about that and even maybe voiced some complaints or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't really know what else to say as far as that goes. You know what I mean? Just to
Can't satisfy everyone for sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But we gotta let the little generation know, the younger generation know that if they get into positions where they get asked by other races, don't just blow us off.
Another thing too, like they might also be semi-intimidated by our generation. I want to say I'm the generation after you, because realistically, I don't know what our age gap is or what have you, but you were there first. There's no question about that. So a lot of people, like you said, someone got robbed. They use your guys' photos because it's intimidating perhaps to some people, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they're intimidated on wanting to involve some of the older homies.
That makes sense.
And shit like that too, you know what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense.
And then, you know, there's the internet's a different place than it was when we first started, you know what I'm saying? They might clip this and it'll go viral, or clip something from here, you know what I mean? And as opposed to back then when people were dropping real gems and putting on for the raza or whatever, and fucking now it's just in the archives, just dust collecting, you know what I'm saying?
I see.
That's the best take I could probably give on that. They might be intimidated and they don't know no better, and also they just might not want any parts of what being part of our original culture is, which is on some real serious gang shit, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of it is, but I feel like there's certain people that need to take their platforms and start educating, and that's what I'm trying to do. Our shit definitely was raised on the gang shit, but it don't have to stay there. We
No,
growing,
absolutely.
man. We got kids. We got investments.
Of
we
course.
got buildings.
Yeah.
We got
We wanna go
LLCs.
home.
Exactly. I'm tired of writing my homeboys in prison. I'm tired of accepting those phone calls and, hey, homie, you could throw a little bit on my... That shit's played out.
I
homie.
just got a call from Calipat before I was in this movie, so I totally
You know
feel
what
it.
I'm saying? It's old, but at least that we still could use our knowledge to everything we've been through is for a reason. And if we just sit here and push smut and push fucking this person's dissing that person and what's up with this motherfucker dissing them, then we're not really doing our job in elevating. Because the people that came before us, our parents were supposed to make us better. And we're
Absolutely.
supposed to make the next generation better.
And another funny thing is, now that I'm up there, I'm starting to begin to be able to get a little action to do interviews, and a lot of the youngsters that I'm trying to bring up, because obviously they want the young up and coming, you know what I'm saying? Duno almost interviewed all of them, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, I mean, I'll give him credit for that he did take a lot of brown people up to that podcast and give them a platform, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I'm going to see what I could do to get your ass up there, if you'd like to come, of course.
It's all good. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to keep it real. I denied like 3 interviews from that place. And I mean no disrespect to you, I'm going to keep it real. Since
Absolutely.
we're talking about it, I've accepted Big Boys, Vlad's, everybody's. I don't like the way Adam 22 interviews people. I feel like he's a culture vulture, and I don't like the way that he gets down. I think that he highlights people's bullshit instead of their victories. All he wants to talk about is motherfuckers in the hood and what they done did. Like a true white man that don't give a fuck about our culture would ask.
Isn't that exactly what Vlad does?
And they look at us. You know, I feel Vlad's a little different because he celebrates us. He'll talk about some shit. He'll talk about a struggle. And at the end, he'll be like, you know what? And then how do you invest? And where do you go? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I don't hear Adam on that. And I could be honest with you, and I'm being real with you. As you're an advocate for him, I see that you feel a certain way. But I feel like he done got motherfuckers killed out here by the questions that he asked, and he pumping up certain situations. And that affected me because one of my homeboys was involved in that. And I'm not going to speak on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to say names, but everybody knows what the fuck it is. Certain people go on that show, they get asked and they get baited in because our people don't have the mental intelligence to
Or
know
the
that,
media
yeah,
training.
to know that this motherfucker's setting you up and putting you in some shit for clickbait, and then next thing you know, you lose your life. So
can't-
motherfuckers like that need to be cleaned up, in my opinion.
I personally can't say that I've seen him do that, but I also haven't watched a gang of his interviews. I've only
see.
been there for a couple of months. Your shit shut off.
Nah, it's cool.
All right.
It's restarting.
Nah, yeah. Nah, but yeah, I can't really speak too much on that because I haven't been in any interviews where I've seen him do that per se. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But if that's what his MO is, and I mean, but I also haven't heard anyone call Adam 22 the cops either, the way they call Vlad the cops. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Everybody has their opinion. Now, I tapped in with Adam after the homie passed away, one of the big artists, Draco, and he was, certain people were trying to get in touch with him.
I understand.
So I plugged people right there. But I just don't feel like, even when I reached out on that, there was like no sincerity. It was just like, cool, like I'll do it. Like it wasn't like, damn, homie, we lost something. Like, just like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? And I could read between the lines, and I just feel like that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's just his attitude, though. He's very
Well, it needs to be cleaned up. Somebody need to check him, homie. Honestly, and I'm just being real, homies. Like I personally, I feel like as someone that's a face of representing our culture and actually giving people a light and a platform, just show a little bit more respect, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't jump on the bandwagon of everybody calling them the shit they're calling them.
Yeah.
Because I come from the real streets.
Exactly.
And we don't smut people up. That's what you
Facts.
call smut, right?
Yep.
So everybody's gonna run around and jump and say, oh, he this and that. I've never. If that's the case, paperwork will present itself, right?
Exactly.
Like you said, I asked you about it. Now,
Yeah.
me being in my position, now I'm gonna highlight that. I got at you and you had tagged me on something about Southern California rappers being united if I was doing my thing. And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna go out of my way to the homie. I'm not gonna bother his peaceful life. But since it's on my radar, I do want to ask him, like, what do you feel about
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
homie? You got brown skin. We from the same program.
Yeah.
Why would you sit next to him if this is accusations? But then you told me, and I know coming from the streets, you could be in county motherfuckers are accusing motherfuckers all left and right of you. All this type of shit, unless it's real paperwork. These days in this life, motherfuckers smut more than anything, right?
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, you had said a couple things. You were like, homie, I have honor. That's the first thing you said.
No,
and I
yeah,
said, okay,
absolutely.
as a man to man, that was G, homie. You could have said anything else, but my ears went wide open. And then you said what you said, so I was like, let's talk about it. So let's talk about that real quick. Why do you feel comfortable sitting next to him with all the accusations going out on him?
Well, I mean, I've seen I don't even want to say it like that, but I'm gonna just say it. I've seen screenshots and all sorts of different mamadas about all kinds of homies.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you, but all sorts of super duper homies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And where's the paperwork?
For sure.
they've accused other people, even from this. I'm not gonna dox where we're at, but from this city we're even sitting in. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. They've been
For years.
Yeah. All kinds of people say all kinds of things about all kinds of people, but why are they still walking around like if everything's okay? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So I mean, and yeah,
That's that smut game.
our program that we operate on is based on paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And
Not just accusations. And you gotta prove it.
Facts are facts and cap is cap. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I'm obviously getting tagged and everything. You know what I'm saying? Why are you over there? Why are you over there? I'm like, well, because the fool didn't do it. And I've asked my own personal questions here or there to whoever is up there. You know what I'm saying? And they presented me with whatever facts they had. And who am I to continue to second guess it? If we Google, let's just put it out there. If we Google Carlos Coy case, what's going to happen?
You're gonna see the biggest piece of shit that I
If
ever
you
hit
type
on.
in Adam Grand Mason case,
Yeah.
there's
It's
absolutely
not
nothing.
That's a good point.
What are they going to say? Oh, it's the Illuminati. Like, relax. Fool.
Nah, I feel
relax.
it. I feel it. Now you're kicking real game. You're
So,
kicking
I mean,
real
with
game.
that being said, I mean, yeah, he ain't my fucking best friend in the whole wide world. You know what I'm saying? And we have our interactions when we're in the office. But I mean, even with that being said, like, again, like I said to you, I have honor, integrity, and I'm already popping in our lane, in our racket. I'm already me.
Yeah.
So I mean, me just being right there, what, just for clout to
Yeah.
fucking.
It's not worth fucking up your name.
Fuck no.
Nah, not even
After
close.
all these years, G.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Hell no. I'm beloved. My hood pass is golden anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot. Maybe not anywhere, but a lot.
Nah, you get it in every
places.
hood. I see that.
Everywhere.
For years.
So I'm gonna sacrifice that for Adam?
Nah.
I'm not even on the fucking camera with Adam. I'm in other little shows up there. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. They said Atlantic Records did a private investigation. I heard this before.
Yeah.
Why would Atlantic Records conduct a private investigation? There obviously it came from somewhere. Maybe they weren't able to prove it. And then sometimes you just need to be like, okay, it might not have been being able to be proved. I can't press the issue, but maybe this isn't a good person to be around on this behalf. Because if Atlantic went out of their way to do that, and Little Pump is involved and all these motherfuckers, like I feel like that came from somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't say because I wasn't there. Just to
Yeah.
be honest, not to even be like on some little eggshell
Nah,
shit.
nah, for sure.
I literally wasn't there, and I don't know those details.
Did you ever hear about the Atlantic investigation?
No, I didn't. Not
got
until recently, and that was back like in 2015.
But you did hear
16,
about it
17.
recently?
No, yeah. Well, I asked directly about
Okay.
to certain other individuals
Got
that
it,
might be
got it.
more privy to the information than I
see.
was, and then obviously I did my own little deep dive real quick because fools are on my bumper.
And you
or what have
confirmed it.
Nah, yeah. So I mean, he's good. Why wouldn't Vlad eat his ass up? Why wouldn't Joe Budden? Why wouldn't DJ Academics? If this was true, why wouldn't it be on
Good
TMZ?
point. Well, fuck, whatever all them fools are.
Yeah.
I'm representing this Southern California soil and what
Exactly.
we represent, and it's my responsibility. If I have this, I gotta address it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
yeah.
It's got to be put out there because we gotta highlight that.
I personally didn't even want to
Yeah.
speak on it, but fuck it, we here, so why
Nah,
not? Because
nah.
at the same time, they're gonna be like, "Well, what's he hiding?"
Nah, for
I don't
sure.
got shit to hide. Which camera
And I-
I look?
and
You know
I-
what I'm saying? I don't got shit to hide. You know
and
what I'm
I
saying?
love the fact that you pull up with no. And I told you, I'm gonna embrace you with love. I ain't no snake, homie.
No,
Like
yeah,
I told you, I'm
absolutely.
gonna open the door, and we ain't on no funny shit. I told you I was gonna embrace you. As soon as you said I got honor, and you said what you said, I was like, okay, he's speaking to me like a gentleman. We're gonna have a gentleman conversation.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, it is what it is. The cats have the responsibility. They know what they need to do on the podcasting. You gave your opinion. Fuck all that. The heavy shit's out the way. What's your most favorite part of the game, dog? You like rapping. You like podcasting. You like video shoots. I mean, you've seen all aspects.
I know you know what it takes to be a successful rapper, and that shit gets tiring, baby.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Is it still not working?
Podcasting is cool. I'm a natural shit talker. All I do is talk shit all day.
Yeah.
To my wife, to my homies, to whoever. Like, I'm just shooting this shit all day. You know Bundy? You know Buns?
That's my homeboy.
Okay, so when he first saw me on a podcast, he was like, "Dog, finally you're doing something you're good at."
That's right.
So some funny shit like that. So now I think
Shout
I like
out the homie Bun.
shout out to the homie Buns. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I like the podcasting quite a bit, dog, because I'm just chilling. I'm just sitting around talking shit. Imagine getting paid for doing that.
That's crazy, right?
That shit's crazy
It's
as fuck.
kind of fun. We've been over here just cutting records all the time, and that shit's like cool. It's like we got like a monotonous flow. Like it's so like plug and play. We're so used to it. So this new challenge was really cool for us to be able to do something different.
Shooting videos is a hassle, as I'm sure you know, but you were shooting videos for yourself mostly, and maybe a couple of your artists or what have you, right? I'm shooting videos for strangers, so now I got to deal with their drunk homies.
I see.
All the bullshit.
All the extra.
I don't got all my money right now. Fucking da-da-da-da, this or that. The song's about bitches. They ain't got no bitches. Eyekon, can you get some bitches?
I see.
Women, females, whatever. Ice Cube said it was cool to say bitch, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. So Yeah, dog, this shit's just crazy. It's just, you already know all the pitfalls, and all the rappers that are watching right now probably understand what it's like to have to go through a music video if you've got a limited budget, right?
Fuck yeah.
And I'm the guy that works with all the budgets or what have you. Hence
dope.
me being here after, 13 years or something like that. So, I mean, probably podcasting is the easiest. Rapping was probably the coolest, right? You've seen the heights. Like you said, you've cashed the big checks. You got the whips, what have you. I just turned in all my exotics. I'm over exotic problems.
Well,
you know what
I
I'm
gotta
saying?
have them.
I can't.
write-offs.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
I got you.
I traded in both my BMWs for fucking some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But long story short, yeah, rapping, signing autographs, taking pictures, having your poster up, being on phone cases, et cetera, et cetera. That's the kids singing along. It's hell of a feeling. You know what I mean?
It is so super dope, homie. Now, is there a moment in your life where you ever felt like this shit wasn't for you, and you're like, because obviously now you're hitting a point of success. You obviously have a lot of different avenues where you've cashed out in the game. A lot of people can't say that. Is there a point where you were like, man, this shit just wasn't working for me? Like maybe you were like, fuck this camera, I want to sell it. Maybe fuck this rap shit.
There's been some rough. I could say maybe in 13 years I've had maybe 2 rough months where it was really rough, and I was like, damn, because I'm a spender. I'm not a saver.
Yeah.
Money coming, money going. Ain't like you can
Get
take
rid
it
of
with
that
you. You know what I'm
shit.
saying? I'm
Yeah.
getting it out of here. So, and it's always the month of September, but it's only been 2 or 3. You know what I mean? And that's about it, dog. Like I can honestly say, the last rough month I had, Toker from the Brownside was still alive, and we weren't shooting for whatever reason for like a month or 2, and my other clients or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He just magically appeared and was like, hey, come down, we're gonna shoot like 10 videos. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
I was already shooting a million videos for this fool, you know what I mean? But it was a month or 2 where we were dry doing whatever, because we had just shot 10 videos. So he's rolling them out. What the fuck does he need to shoot 10 more videos for? And then bam.
That's hard.
It happened. And that's
hard.
what it was.
Man, shout out to Toker, rest in peace. I know that he was one of the original pioneers of this, and I'll never not give him his flowers, even though he's not here, straight up.
That's right.
And I know he had his opinion on the rap game, but I knew deeper than it, because I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to highlight something that not a lot of people know. I knew Toker's people before all that shit was coming out, right? So when that happened, when I did the movie on Bright, I'm a real one, homie. You know, I'm not gonna be fake, homie. So they were telling me that someone was on the set from Brownside, and it was just when that shit was starting, and it was Travi G. Shout out to the homie Travi G.
Yeah, shout out to Travi. He's cool.
And
one of the realest I know.
yeah, and the homie Stevie, I guess, was right there. He's a witness to the whole thing. The homie, he's on SWAT right now. Shout out to homie Stevie Vegas.
Oh,
But
I know Steven, yeah.
yeah, I mobbed up to him. I was like, what's up, little homie? What's cracking? I introduced myself, criminal homie, high power, Water Silver Lake. What's cracking? He's like, what's up? And I was like, I just want to make sure everything's cool, dog. Like, you know, I heard that there's some chitter chatter about I fool looked at me and was like, homie, I bumped your shit, homie. I fuck all that bullshit. Like, I fuck with you. So I always knew that it wasn't that. I knew it was something different, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the opinion was that he had, he started getting a certain way. And I'm glad that I never personally fell into dissing him back.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that wasn't really his intention. Because before he passed away, I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but one of the very last videos that before he
shouted
passed
you
away,
out. He showed you love.
He shouted me out, and he showed a lot of love. He said,
That was
"Shout
one of
out
my
to the
good
crime
friends.
family."
What did you
Yeah.
guys think about all that? What did your guys' side think about all that?
I thought it was bullshit.
What did you guys think when he was on his lives talking all that crazy shit? I'd really love to know.
I'm gonna keep it real. Me and Capone just thought he wanted attention. That he was trying to figure out a way to get back in the game and keep his name popping. Because we were obviously, like you said earlier, we're the kings of this shit. Ain't nobody ever sold as much as us. So he lost a position of power and went to prison. Got out. He still has a position of power in the streets of money, but he lost that in the rap game. And he had videos that were doing good, a couple millions, whatever. But I think he wanted that worldwide. He wanted to do shows like us. He wanted to get out there. That's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Since he was speaking on me in public, and since you're asking, you're part of his group.
No, absolutely.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't think that he really wanted that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that he wanted really problems. I think he just wanted the attention. You know
What did the
I'm saying?
high-power soldiers think back then when that shit was
Everybody was ready for whatever.
That's tight.
Our homies were always ready for whatever at any time.
Well, they were called the torpedoes,
Hey,
right?
we were everywhere. Look, I'm gonna highlight this. Everybody was dissing us since the first day we got in the game. And everybody had a crazy story about how we weren't from really our hoods. Everybody had a crazy story. Exactly. But how somehow we always ended up every
That's
show,
tight.
motherfuckers running out through fences. I'm going to keep it real. The very first fool that dissed us, we showed up to a show in Palm Springs, and this motherfucker jumped in an SUV with his manager crying, screaming, hit the gas. And in front of all the fans, this fool crashed his shit, went through a fence. So I knew from very day one that this rap shit was fake.
Was
I'm
that
like,
the
half
no
these rap
warning shots
motherfuckers-
guy?
Hell nah. It was a fool named Mike from Wicked. It used to be from minds. His bitch ass got exited out the game just like that. But I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not here to highlight negativity because that's easy. We destroyed a lot of fools' careers. That was easy for me. but when we're trying to rebuild and when it was time for like turn the cheek, that's when motherfuckers really try to swing and come at you, right? So I'm gonna keep it real. I know the power we hold, and I know the power that he held. I know that he's really from his hood. I know really motherfuckers were down the ride for him. I know we had the same. Yeah. So in my mentality, I was already getting in that position where my album at that time was called Redemption, my G. I was trying to
You're on
change,
some other shit entirely
I'm trying to change
mentally.
it. So
Yeah.
I shook Travi G's hand, and you know what? I'm gonna keep it real. I hit Travi G and I said, hey, with all this hollering from your Theo, you already know I gave your Theo props. When I met you, I told you that your Theo was a legend. Straight up. Absolutely. Shout out to Brownside. I would never take away from that. My homeboys gangbang to that shit with me in the back seat with a strap on my lap and the cutlass. How am I gonna forget that, right? But we tried to get to the bottom of it, and I told him, I was like, shoot me your Theo's number. I want to chop it up with him on some real shit, because all this going around the internet, I don't want to do that. I want to chop it up with him straight up, right? We never had the chance to do that. He passed away, and before he passed away, he gave me shout outs. So I know when you ask me, and I circle back to it, I know it wasn't real, because if he really had hatred in his heart, you don't let that go. People aren't gonna let that go and give someone shout outs just like that. You feel me?
Nah, yeah.
So what did you think about it, since you're asking me?
Honestly, I never really asked him why he was fucking talking shit. I just, let him do his thing. And
yeah.
I'm not gonna say I was ready to fucking shoot you fools in the fucking face, but I also was like, damn, I wonder what's gonna happen if I ever have to cross your fucking guys' path. Cause those fools are doing them. They're outside in their hood doing their thing.
But you were networking and being
I'm
all
outside
around.
in the motherfucking whole entire rap game, fucking filming videos for fucking fools that fuck with you. I think I even shot some videos for Crime Family artists while this is taking place. You know what I'm saying? And I would always ask, like, hey, I might bump into these fools. You gonna be cool with that? Or what? He's like, do your thing, G. Get your fucking money. I ain't tripping off that shit. Do you. Whatever happens, happens. I got you.
One time we got a phone call. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. We caught this fool Eyekon slipping. We're gonna take all this shit and his cameras, everything. I right hand to the sky, homie. I told him that fool ain't got nothing to do with the shit, homie. Let that fool give that fool a pass.
That would have been so bad for them.
Give that fool a pass. I was like, give that fool a pass. He ain't got nothing to do with that fool's in the neutral zone. And I don't think it would have been. I think it would have been bad for everybody, because when I'm telling you the homies I'm talking about, they ain't no rappers, homie. They ain't. And just hearing you say that might upset them. So we're gonna keep that cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're here to highlight positivity. You're a man, and you gotta back yourself up.
Exactly.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
The fools that called me weren't no rappers.
I can't say that in my entire video career, no one's ever approached me adversely or with any aggression.
For sure.
With that being said,
and
respect to them for not fucking.
For sure. And what I'm saying
for
is,
not crossing the line or whatever.
And we knew, because homies like me, because we done beat motherfuckers and take the cameras up. There's a dude right now doing podcasts that he talks about me all the time because we took his camera and beat his ass back in the day. So I'm being real. I'm not gonna say his name. He knows who he is.
I don't know, but tell me later.
But and at the end of the day, it's not about that. We're just trying to show that all that's easy. And this is what I try to say. Look, it's not about flexing and looking hard and all this, because it comes out of us. It's naturally in me, because I grew up aggressive. I grew up around aggressive homies and all this, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm trying to be tame, and I'm trying to show our people that we could unite and we could do positive things, right? But you don't lose that side of you, like motherfuckers think just because I'm out here shaking
No, just because it's quiet.
Yeah. No, it ain't even like that. But what we need to do is show that we're leaders. We need to show that we can't have these conversations, because this is historical, homie. We're talking about a beef that truly could have ended in some bloodshed.
Some crazy shit.
His homies, Travi G and his homies, they were pulling up to the set. Fuck up. I mean, Carlos like, what's cracking, fool? Fool's hopping out the car, the whole shit. 5 on my shit. So I know for a fact, when I went to go do some of the shit that I was doing, like on not those type of movies, but like independent shit. You know
Absolutely.
So it could get real, unfortunately, when you're dealing with all these people. But we have to show the outside communities that that's a thing of the past. So as we're sitting there with Travi G, we smoking, we shaking hands, what's cracking, taking pictures with his homies. That's what we need to highlight, not all this other bullshit. So that's why I'm glad that we are talking about Toker. Rest in peace. Shout out and respect to his soul. I think that it's an important thing for the next generation to know that for us to get further, we don't need to do anything like that. We don't have to disrespect another man. We don't have to take whatever he stood on. I'm not gonna speak on anything other than what you asked me.
Yeah.
He believed what he believed in, but I know that then that it was dead. So I'm glad to say that. So we could speak on it with a smile on my face, because I knew it really wasn't nothing anyways. But with that being said, how did you enjoy being over there? I know you guys were on like yachts in Cabo, and you guys were like living life, right?
Yeah, he treated me really well. I was the last person to get a bonus, you know what I'm saying? He broke me off pretty fat.
That's hard.
He was one of my groomsmen in my wedding. We got married in Cabo. That shit was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? He presented himself, well, he didn't even present himself. He is a very particularly strong individual, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
he was a
absolutely.
leader, straight up.
I don't want to fucking overgas it up, you know what I mean? But he was the man, fool. Let's just be real. Like you said, this fool's right here inspiring fucking generations of
Straight
fools.
up.
Fucking people have done a gang of shit to his music, you know what I'm
Straight up.
saying? And he himself, as we all know, has a very unique resume of crime. You know
They
what I'm
called him
saying?
Beaver in the streets before he was a rapper.
No, absolutely. And he got a life sentence. So I wonder why. What do you get life for? It sure wasn't fucking jaywalking. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
So but I don't know. Like I said, I always talk shit, and I would talk shit to that fool. I talk shit to everyone that's a little bit fucking got a seniority fucking position. I talk shit like, relax, fool. I know everyone kisses your ass.
Yeah.
Not me though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, I'm here. I'm
You're
gonna
that
do my
dude.
job.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
that
it.
guy.
I
You know
got
what I'm
it.
saying? So
Don't take it too serious.
he showed me a lot of love, dog. He showed me a lot of love. He took me under his wing, and I did a lot of good things for him and his family, and he did a lot of good things for mine. I became friends with his little homies, you know what I'm saying? And it was a crazy time, you know what I mean?
Shit, Conejo told me that when he was out there on the run, that fool took him in for a little bit. And then he's like, this fool was like straight like 50 Cent out there. Like he had a crib on the ocean with a marina, with a boat launch.
No
and then
lie.
he take me to another spot. He
No
had
lie.
another beachfront pad. Like, that, the
I'm like,
homies
I
doing
was
it.
there. That's not cap.
Nah, that's some sick shit.
And that's crazy because Conejo don't got no fucking reason to lie. He doesn't give a
Nah.
shit about anything. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? That
for
fool's a
sure.
very unique individual too. And yeah, dog. It was just a very unique time, and especially Chicano rap history to see his resurgence, to see his rise again, and then you know what I mean. His ultimate, the ultimate gangster demise, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
It's just crazy.
Unfortunately, rest in peace to the homie.
Yep.
And it's important that we look at that in the positive ways, because he was doing a lot of good things too. He was giving back. He had a store in downtown LA.
Yep.
He
He was
had a
doing great.
clothing line. He was one of the first people to do this shit on the merchandising level. So I think that he left the blueprint for a lot of people. And I think that's dope. And then obviously he was around Eazy-E and all them cats in the beginning. So he definitely was a legend, homie. And a lot of people don't realize the amount of time he was in the game because he did that life sentence. You know what I'm saying? Or those 15 years, whatever it was.
Yeah, I didn't even listen to Brownside. That was a big joke between me and him. He
Yeah.
was like, because I don't even remember. Do you know the Empire? Of course you know the Empire Riders.
That's
Duh.
honest, yeah.
Nah, so Big Sanch is the individual that introduced me to Toker, and that's how I
remember.
got over there.
I remember.
So when they were like, Toker from the Brownside wants you to like, he said it like very enthusiastically, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I remember very clearly that his homies weren't very happy with him for that. And it was a situation where the homies were hitting me up like, yeah, what's up with this, you know?
Yeah.
And they were talking about the way they felt about it, but it got resolved.
No, yeah, absolutely. And Diablo and Big Lazy and Danger, shout out to all the homies from the Empire Riders, of course, and free Diablo. But with all that being said, yeah, I don't know. Pretty crazy time, G.
Yeah, it's crazy, homie. And that's one thing about this rap shit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of too much real street shit, and that's what we try to separate. And me personally, I learned that shit young because we were rolling around deep as fuck, all around state to state, my Escalade, and I was taking half of my clique from my neighborhood with me, right? But you don't realize these fools don't respect the game like us. Like, we got to still show face. These fools
Yeah.
are cracking fools, slapping people, doing the most disrespecting people.
Now the promoters
drinking
don't
too
wanna
much.
book you, et cetera,
Exactly.
et
So when
cetera.
it started getting to the point where I started yelling at my homies, like, motherfucker, I don't be showing up to your construction site, disrespecting your work. So I had to start leaving fools
This is
behind.
why the young kids are fucking scared to
Exactly.
fucking link up, fool.
Exactly.
They hear these legendary stories and they ain't
Yeah.
trying to be a part of that shit.
Yeah, but it's all good. That's why we got to change it up. And now, when I roll places, I roll everywhere solo. You might not never see me roll up with anybody. If I pull up, I might be with my wife or my engineer or my son
Exactly.
shooting. And I feel like that's more of a professional thing.
Yeah,
And
like how you see me pull up. I pull over my publicist, because my fucking
Yeah.
publicist, and my nephew.
that's dope. That's
We're
dope.
chilling.
It's all family. And I
Yeah.
love to see that because you're serious about your business. We already did the street shit. We already could prove that we already did that. So what do you think, honestly, from the game looking out, being part of this shit from every single angle? You've done the videos, you've done the rap game, you've done the podcasting. What do you think is lacking in our community to have that next Latino superstar coming from Southern California?
I know this is gonna sound massively repetitive, but
It needs to be said.
We just really need to support each other, dog.
Mm-hmm.
The other side, you know what I'm saying? The brothers, they rally behind one another,
Like
mostly.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that we don't want to do that. And I mean, we could all take turns. You know what I'm saying? Like on a label. you didn't have fucking beef with Capone. It was Capone's turn. Then it was your turn. Then it was Malo's turn. Then it was Pink's turn. Then it was a Torpedo's turn. Then whatever fucking order you're
Motherfucker, you just said you didn't listen to our music. You had the fan club in order. You had every single release in order.
I just actually
he
went
had that
in
shit on
seniority.
subscription, homie.
I just went down on seniority
Let me
levels,
find
you know what I'm
out. Eyekon was that fool always in the front row with his chonies off, fucking throwing them at the crowd.
Nah,
that
I was just
Eyekon, homie.
creeping and crawling, waiting for Toker to give the word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nah, long story short, fucking that's how it should roll, though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
Everyone
sure.
should rally when it's the one motherfucker's turn.
Yeah,
Help the motherfucker up.
you have to.
G is probably, aside from you fools, he's probably I think even more so, he's probably the most commercially appealing Latin artist we've had.
Yeah.
Besides Little Rob, because obviously Little Rob, some of those hits are just fucking
Legendary.
They're fucking too big to deny. You know
They're
what I'm saying?
legendary as fuck.
And that's what come even on my shit when I don't know who started this. Oh no, Conejo started who's the fucking best Chicano rapper or whatever, right?
Yeah, nah, it was King Lil G.
I said, yeah. Conejo, Prime, Conejo's a guy, my homie Prime. I actually known that fool before the rap game. We were in jail many years ago.
Suspects cat, right?
Yeah, Prime Suspects. We did like a fucking year and a half together somewhere. Anyways, long story short, fucking I don't know what he said. I think he said Chicano rap is dead, and then fucking G said, how could it be dead? If I'm still here, I'm the king, etc., etc. And then I said, like, yo, every generation has had its king. Frost was probably the first king. Toker would hate for me to say that shit right now, but the facts are
Facts is facts.
La Raza. Maybe fucking, you know what I'm saying? He was gangster rap. Maybe this fool was more pop, and that just is what it is, and I respect that. But Frost was probably the first king. Then I would have to say Little Rob was the next king. You know what I'm saying? I think Little Rob is more your guys' era. And although you guys have probably been way more consistent and have way bigger numbers, he had the bigger hits. So at that point, it's more impact versus quantity. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, it was fucking King Little G. And that just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Who's next after him? Only fucking time could tell, because no one's filled that role yet. You know what I'm saying? But
They're still working on it. We got a list of dope ass youngsters out there that are spitting them, and I
you know
think
what I'm
that is
saying?
an amazing thing. But yeah, there's a lot of other little homies coming up. Lil Maru from San Diego.
Oh, yep.
There's a lot of different cats, but yeah, shout out to everybody on the rise. What do you think is gonna be our legacy left behind 20 years from now? Are they gonna look back and be like, damn, those homies made a change? Or are you gonna think it's gonna be the same shit?
I have no idea how I'm gonna be remembered, because I'm not really self-aware as far as, I mean, I could definitely be cocky if I wanted to, right? But I have no idea. But I can say for sure, they're probably gonna say some nice things about you. You know what I'm saying? You did your thing, fool. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, dog. What else can they say except for motherfuckers paved the way? Some people were the first of the first. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Frost is still fucking doing shows till this day and getting paid.
G'd up in suits with the top hat.
Because he is the very, very, well, I don't know if he's the very first, right? Toker's, we weren't there. Only
That was an
Tony G knows.
argument.
Only Tony G knows, right?
Yeah.
Only Tony and Easy
But
know.
Tony G will be here very soon, so we're gonna
Yeah,
ask
shout
him.
out to Tony G, because he actually hosted one of my mixtapes when we were doing the
That's
rap
solid.
shit. But anyways, with that being said, just exactly like I said, fool, like you guys, certain individuals will definitely be highly remembered, like Little Rob, Shadow, forever will be fucking
Shadow's
praised.
one of the hardest motherfuckers ever touched the mic.
Forever and ever in fucking San Diego. Forever. Frost, Toker, you guys, Little G, forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Unless they delete the internet and fucking completely purge us of fucking homies. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
If we fucking fall off into the ocean or whatever, then maybe we'll be forgotten. But
I feel that. Hell yeah. You think that the gang culture holds us back?
nah. Not anymore.
Not
Before,
anymore.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
fool. Absolutely. We couldn't fucking throw shows in certain places because fools were snapping. Then we have to get on the phone and blah, 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 all that fucking fun stuff, right?
You know how unprofessional we used to be? We just thought it was normal. They'd be like, hey, fool, you got that song on Power 106 right now with Nate Dogg. Show up to the shit and do an interview. Why show up with 5 fucking Carlos in the whole fucking parking lot's like 50 fucking vatos? And I'm like, yeah, doing a show and everybody in the office is looking outside the windows like, oh, goddamn, get this fool in and out quick. I didn't realize that type of shit till I got older.
I think
It's
that's
like,
the
you
number
think
one
that's
reason.
cool, you know?
That's the number one reason why fools don't get big looks.
Straight up.
And it's still like a stigma now. You know what
It
I'm
is.
saying? Like,
I remember they'd be like, hey, Capone, criminal, you guys can't come back here to the Lowrider show with 20, 30 people, no matter what. We didn't give a fuck. I'd be like, hey, slipping
yeah.
fools passes. Next thing you know, we got on stage, there'd be like 20 motherfuckers behind us. They'd be like, you guys ain't gonna be
yeah,
at the
3
next
came
one.
in through that entrance, 3 came in through that entrance. Wait 10 minutes, fool.
Yeah.
Now we're all blending, and all of a sudden, hey, we need criminal on the stage. Now,
Yeah, exactly. We used to pull all those tricks. So I think that shit in the long run held us back because they were like, these these fools aren't very professional. They're not taking this shit serious. They're coming with a gang of people, distractions, scaring away our vendors, scaring away our people spending money. So I think that as a community, we all need to realize that as well. Like, put a better face on it. You know
Would you say this younger generation has the same crab in a bucket syndrome we had? I'm not saying you necessarily had it, but we as a generation.
We had that
you know what I'm
motherfucker like crazy. Like there was nobody that you could have celebrate their victory publicly. It's like everybody always has something to say. He's not really from his hood. He's not this. He doesn't. No. It's always something. Like you can't never just congratulate. That's why I think it's dope that me and the King Little G sat right here. And that's
was tight.
That's why, hey homie, I publicly apologized to him. He reached out. That was cocky as fuck of me to not reach back out back then. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We all have those moments. You know what I mean? And we all grow and we all learn, you know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a dope thing that we're able to learn in a public setting where we could set examples instead of just fucking up and crashing or whatever we do and it's just our shit. We could actually set examples where the next people be like, I don't want to be like that. I want to get together. I want to smash, you know?
I think no matter what, there's always going to be a competitive spirit, but if people could put the competitiveness away and try to be more on some teamwork shit, it might go good, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. And I'm gonna keep it real. I said it to Young Dopey and I said it to King Little G. I feel like I was left out of that shit on purpose because I eat motherfuckers live on the mic. And I know people were very, very smart about not putting my name in that shit. Cause hey, homie, it is what it is. I know everybody thinks they're dope, but I know I'm one of the sickest out here with bars. Straight the fuck up. Not a lot of people can hang in my caliber and my position with my influence.
Yeah.
There's not many. Straight up.
Whatever happened with the End the Beef song with the homie Little Yogi and 626?
That was a big thing, homie. Like, we really had beef. Like, okay, I dissed the shit out them cats. And I was talking about pulling up with banana clips. And that shit at that time, that shit was real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, if you're asking about beefs and real shit, that was really some real shit. That would have been blood shit. You know what I'm saying? And so you're asking me about... Come on, homie. If I feel on it, I'll stand on it. I'll be like, hell yeah, homie, I was gunning for that fool.
No, absolutely.
I never had that type of beef with them. But the people you're asking me about, that shit was some real shit. So that was to the point where, again, I told you I was coming into a position where it's starting to change my mentality. A lot of my homies getting locked up. A lot of my people getting busted for bullshit. A lot of this rap game dissing each other and don't even know each other. And I thought, hey, this little homie was trying to come up. 626 and Smile on Taz, they were cool homies. Like, what are we really beefing about? When I used to be on the road with them fools in Pomona and shit like that, we used to click like this. Like this. I remember partying with these fools until the sun come up at their apartments, laughing, good memories. So I'm like, when it really comes down to it, this is some rap shit. This isn't some real street shit, you know what I'm saying? So I reached out, he reached out, and we agreed to do that. And I thought that was a big move. And that was the first experience of setting the trend of a leader, because I got backlash from that. From my own label. I remember Capone was like, what are you doing, dog? What? These fools were this. Hey, homie, chill out. Let me do my thing. I know what I'm doing right here. I'm setting an example. You might not see my vision. You might not see what I'm doing, but I'm out here writing. I'm out here with you on the front lines. I'm out here dissing these fools. I'm out here pistol whipping fools at shows. let me be, homie. I know what I need to do, right? So that was an important thing, because I've really felt like also isolating Snapper from his last people was important too. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time they didn't really fuck with him no more. So I was like, I'm cutting this fools all the way off. He ain't got no more support.
I'm not really too privy on Snapper like that, because his music wasn't really good. But
yeah, could you hand me that water, Chris? My mouth is dry as a motherfucker.
But yeah, fucking
his shit was whack.
Definitely a time, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a crazy time.
He sold a lot of records because he was very smart at street promotions.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't really know too much about Snapper other than fucking Yogi being signed to him at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, he's a thing of the past. Unfortunately, he's one of the ones that we won't be speaking of in the long run. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. Do you think people will be talking about him in 10 years?
Nah. I didn't even really think about bringing him up as just, you mentioned him, and that's because of his correlation to the homies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have problems with nobody in this game. Anybody I have problems with, I've already spoke to them. I've squashed my problems, and I feel like everybody's really cool.
Worry-free?
Hey, homie, I sleep very good at night.
I'm
cool. I walk around every single spot. I go to everywhere I get love, and I want to keep it like that. And I got love to every single person we talked about tonight. I got no problem with nobody. I got love. The people I do got problems with, they know very well who I got problems with, and that's where I'm going to leave it, you know? And most of that shit is a waste of time anyways, because we got families to feed, you know?
And that's another thing, too, like, I would really hope this new generation would try not to make their music scenarios into like if it was their arch rivals in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't even worth all that, and a lot of fools don't even really stand on that shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you got to sell at least 10,000 records in your career to beef with me.
I don't take none of that shit personally, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's not personal. It's just you remind me of a lot of flop shit that we gave opportunities to. and didn't appreciate it. There was a lot of rappers that came and went, and a lot of fools that dissed and shit like that.
And what do you
You're
think about
reminding me
that?
of those dudes, you know?
What do you think about outlasting so many human beings that have came through this game? You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people are talk. I think a lot of people talk so much, and they're like, look at Eyekon interviewing me now. This is pretty gangster, right? I like this shit. See how he flipped this shit on me? Nah, I think it's pretty dope. What was the question
That's
again?
what happens when motherfuckers have been around almost as long as you, fool.
Nah, I'll
Not
say-
everyone has made it and stayed as active as we have. You know what
Nah,
I'm
for
saying?
sure. I think that, look, to be real, without putting nobody down, I think that it wasn't made for a lot of people. I'm just being real. Just like I said the other day, I wouldn't go to a construction site just because a lot of my homies are becoming construction workers and be like, fuck it, today I'm a construction worker. You gotta buy your tools. You gotta invest in learning on tools. You gotta buy your safety goggles, your safety vest, your equipment. You gotta make sure you don't fucking chop your fingers off. You gotta make sure you got the workers' comp insurance, the whole shit, right? Do your training. So I feel like we're in a position in life where a lot of people don't respect hustles. Everybody's a fucking photographer. Everyone's a video guy.
Yeah.
Someone just gets a fucking camera and they're like, nah, I shoot videos, you know? And it's cool to have that inspiration and want to do it, but there's a level to respect the game, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I truly feel that there's a lot of people that don't. So the question you're asking is, I feel like my heart is really in this. As you see, you ask me questions, I get passionate. Like I stand on
Absolutely.
it. I'm ready to stand up, scrap for my shit. I'm ready to whatever. And not a lot of people have this love for it. And I'm saying all around the world, from staying up to 6 in the morning because I love this shit,
I
feeding
totally
my
feel it.
family, not eating, jumping on the plane, going to fucking Japan, coming back on Thanksgiving. Like, these are things that I know my peers, 9 out of my 10 of my peers would never do. And
A lot of
the hustle.
motherfuckers, yeah, a
They
lot of
don't have it.
motherfuckers haven't missed family parties. A lot of motherfuckers haven't fucking argued with their ladies, not for having bitches in the video, but like because of the work ethic being
Yes.
so fucking intense.
Yes.
And I could say I've fucking gone through very similar situations like
Yeah.
that, and it fucking sucks. And now that we're here, completely settled in, now I'm gonna choose to go to that fucking family party. Now I'm gonna choose to fucking go to the Easter fucking.
Because you put in your work.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't over, but you know what I'm saying? Like the needing to prove. The
Well, answer your question, I feel like my job, look, we've done and we've settled a lot of legacies. We've done a lot of things first. We were on the radio. We've done a lot of things that generations won't never do, right? But I still feel like there's a lot to do. And I feel like a lot of things that are happening right now, like we're still dissing each other and being from our generation, still don't got it together. And I feel like now it's time to wake motherfuckers up. So that's why I'm using this platform. So I will have to check myself in these moments where I get upset, and I will have to tell myself, because I'm a fighter and I'm an angry. I get fired up easy. I'm a warrior, right? I'm
Absolutely.
a soldier, but I also have to realize that I'm fighting and I'm a soldier for positivity, and I gotta be an example, and I gotta be a leader, and I gotta know how to embrace my peers. And so that's why I'm doing this. There was a moment that I would have never sat down with a Young Dopey or a King Little G or anybody, and I mean no disrespect to them, just because I was trained by my gang homies and then by high power that fuck everybody. It's us. We ride together.
Absolutely.
Right? We don't need to go shake hands with the other enemy guys. We don't need to shake hands with them. Who gives a fuck if they're from a cool hood? We're from our hood. Stand in the corner. That's the way I was trained, right? It's rubbed off, but I also feel that we were brainwashed. And I'm gonna keep it real. Why be like that? You make more money when you network. Is that how businessmen work? No, that's gang shit. Let's keep the gang shit and street shit in the street shit and the business shit in the street shit. So that's where I'm at now. I'm on a business mentality.
No,
I'm a
yeah, we're
business
trying to
level.
network and expand the fucking horizons.
That's where we're at.
I
That's
totally
where we're
feel
at.
it.
Now, who do you have beef with? Let's squash one of your beefs. Who do you got?
I don't got beef with no one because, like you said, no one's ever addressed me directly. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go. There you go.
No one's ever addressed me directly. I've heard little murmurs here or there, and then I'm the
That shit
FaceTime
don't
guy.
count, right?
Nah, it does count to me, at least behind the scenes. I'm not gonna give anybody any play if I did have any shit on the mic because you have to be at my level to see me.
Now you feel me.
You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, fucking anytime there's ever been any qualms or quarrels that I've been brought to my attention, I'm quick to get on the phone and fucking FaceTime, fuck a text, fuck a odd. Let's see your facial expressions as we're talking this stupid shit. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah, yeah.
And everyone just sees me as the cool little funny guy because I make a lot of stupid jokes. But I mean, like I said, no one's ever successfully pressed me. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean? So-
Well, every single person we mentioned on this podcast, I think it would be dope to see each and every single person in the seat so we could talk about any problem, anything that needs to be ironed out. I feel like if anybody has something on their chest, they could address me. So I think that it's an amazing thing.
And when I brought those things up, it wasn't even to fucking bring any type of negative attention. It was just a time in our lives. And I was just curious how you personally viewed it.
Yeah.
You turned up, fool. That shit's hilarious.
Nah, you know, at the end of the day, I ride for my shit. So
Nah,
if people ever
absolutely.
say, I can never say that I never destroyed somebody's career that never came at me funny.
Nah, I totally feel
And
it.
I could still do that easily. I had some lame ass fool the other day try to come at me in my comments. I fucking crushed him on my last show. I got everybody clowning this fool, and I don't even have to say his name.
That's great how that goes,
I'm
huh?
a very smart, strategic person when it comes to war.
Of course.
And nobody's gonna win when it comes to work.
You've definitely been part of a very unique situation in Chicano rap where it was really you guys versus damn near almost everybody.
And we survived it. And we outsold everybody, and we're still here, and we're still the most successful.
The three of you guys definitely, because a lot of people have came and went, but the three of you guys have definitely not stopped.
Hell yeah.
Well, so flowers for that, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. And shout out to everybody out there doing their thing, taking care of their families, putting on like you representing. Now you're representing culture when you're over there. I don't see nobody else with brown skin. Is there somebody with brown skin?
Not yet.
Nah?
Not yet.
So how do you feel being the only homie there left? Like, do you feel like you have a responsibility? You feel pressure? Or you're like, whatever, it's like whatever.
I think I always have the responsibility to put on everywhere we go because I know if you know who I am, then I have to represent us correctly. You know what I'm saying? I can't be up there saying the N-word. I can't be out there being out of pocket, behaving disrespectfully. Yeah, I like to fuck around a lot on my typical funny self, but if you look at anything from, 2008 till now, I'm still exactly the same fucking person because I don't got to sit up here and act tough.
Yeah.
If someone pulls up, well, we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? If it's this or if it's anything else, whatever the case may be. But I'm just sincerely myself, dog. So I mean, I'm just right there representing the best way I can. You know what I mean?
Now let me ask you a question. What do you feel? And I think this is important. So when I have people sitting in the chair and I ask them about questions, right? I tend to take the approach of try to have positivity on it.
Absolutely.
Now, when we ask questions like how you typically ask right now was the typical podcaster, right? And that's what I said I wouldn't do, right? But you brought it to the table. And I think I'm going to keep it real. I realized self-reflecting why I got so heated. Because critical. Yeah. Isn't that exactly what I said we weren't doing on this channel? I said we weren't going to highlight bullshit like that, right? But I respect you. You're a slick dude.
It was you're fucking...
No. You're a smart dude. So I'm gonna let it be known that the anger that I got and fired me up is because several reasons. It's because anybody that's ever dissed me has never dissed my face like that. If that was a situation, right?
Absolutely.
So why even bring it up? Second, I said I wouldn't highlight shit like this. Third, but it's also important to welcome any other type of questions. So we also need to have the flip side of it and learn how to control situations and how to not let it bubble up, because what comes out of the tongue could become fire. And I know for a fact that fires me up. When I talk about Adam, do I not get kind of fired up? And it's not about him personally. It's just about the responsibility that he has. And I feel passionate about it because I love this rap shit. I love this West Coast. I love how all of our people are trying to get it out the mud. So when I see someone, that, in my opinion, this is my opinion.
Absolutely.
Taking advantage of the culture or just shitting on it or trying to see motherfuckers hurt each other for views, that shit pisses me off. When people ask questions like that, when they don't know the real, that shit pisses me off, right? Because you said it. I don't really know. I seen comments. So it's like, I feel like we should be asking questions that are more beneficial to our culture.
More factual and more positive.
Exactly.
Well, with that being said, then I apologize if it came across
it's all
badly,
love,
you know
and it's
what
all
I'm saying?
love. And I don't want nobody to feel like these questions are targeted at a person, because anybody I have problems with, I'll straight out get at them. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? And
as it should
that's
be.
how I feel, yeah. So I don't feel like that should ever be crossed up. And shout out to everybody out there doing their thing. The ones that I don't like definitely know who the fuck they are. And
a lot of people always ask me about Adam, you know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not him, and I definitely haven't been there long enough to start going to bat for him all super duper crazy. This is just based on what I've seen from him. And I mean, as much as a lot of people say he's a negative human being and whatever else, he's definitely still got a huge platform that a lot of people have benefited from. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And although he's asking the questions why people may be going viral for, or they're the hot topics at that instance, you can't be mad at him because he's a media personality.
No, for sure. It's not about being mad. It's just about feeling like it needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, he's also not from where we're from, and he may not have the same gang, like, you know what I'm saying? He may not have the same moral code that we do.
And
as
that's
far
what
as
blows my mind
you know
is how the fuck we allowed it. Like, he ain't from where we're from. He don't have the moral code. How the fuck is this being allowed?
But neither is Vlad, neither is Academics, neither is fucking Big Boy. Like, I mean, what are we talking about, really? You know what I'm saying?
But see, we can argue about this on that. I feel like Vlad and Big Boy do it in a professional manner. They ask about, everybody asks, since the beginning, since NWA, they ask about, oh, you guys are from Compton, from the streets. It's a different energy, homie.
Would you say he's a little bit more accessible, though? He had the store on Melrose. He was doing his shit. You know what I mean? He could have pulled
just he has a condescending attitude when he's asking people shit. And it feels like he really don't give a fuck. The other people, at least, they're like happy for your victories. You know, he's just like, yeah, I see you did a fucking million. Cool. You shoot a dude in the face, too? Or your homies fucking get caught slipping? Like, yeah, all he wants to know is he don't give a fuck, homie. He don't give a fuck up what you did musically, homie. He wants to say some shit that's gonna get hits.
Oh, yeah.
Blind man can see that shit, you know?
That fool's nice to me, dog.
You got a check coming over there, so shout out to you for that. But hey, no disrespect. At the end of the day, I always have a conversation. I'm open to have the conversation with him. At the end of the day, he might feel the way he feels, and I'm open to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it is what it is. We both have our platforms, and obviously he has a much bigger platform. He's been doing this for a lot of years. But as far as our community and the people that are asking about him, I feel like it just needed to be answered. That's why we're here.
After this interview, guys, don't ask me no more fucking Adam
Yeah,
questions.
that's it. Eyekon came in here.
Shout out to fucking Crime for asking the hard questions. I was also on Swifty Blue's podcast, so I don't know when your shit's dropping. I don't know when his shit's dropping.
Swifty Blue has a podcast?
Yeah, him and the homies from Trash Bag Boys.
Oh, I just talked to Trash Bag Boys the other day.
Yeah, the
They
homie
invited
Raider.
me.
Shout out to Raider. He's
Raider,
a really
right?
cool motherfucker, dog.
Yeah.
Definitely polar opposites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Raider's super, super cool. Shout out to Swifty, too, for having me on. And, of course, he asked me, and he's been up there, and he has his own personal fucking opinion. But you know what I'm saying? So,
What was his opinion?
he was just asking he was just asking more I guess clickbaity questions as far as Adam goes. You know what I'm saying? We obviously had a whole long unpacking of my entire fucking history, whatever. But yeah, same shit. What's up with those allegations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, like I told him, you know, his quote is one of his catchphrases, the southern side, not the other side. So I asked him where he was from, the southern side or the other side, you know what I'm saying? And I said the paperwork shit, and I could have left it there, but I said the same thing I said to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's been deep dives by several people, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, all it takes is a real Google search to know the truth about a lot of human beings, you know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up. At the end of the day, a lot of people, and it's unfortunate these days, a lot of people just want to see people down.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers will use anything, right? But it is what it is. I've been in situations since I was a kid where they'll be like, that dude just said something about you in the other room. He just said everything, right? And you still see the same situations all the way come out. And they try to get my homeboy Droopy to admit some shit because of depositions and like all that shit was
crazy.
fake. You know what? Like that whole fake shit. They could put anything in that shit. So it's crazy, homie. They just be making shit up.
And the funniest thing is I've never even had a conversation with Adam about these questions. I'm just out here, dog. I know someone's gonna ask me the shit. Fuck it. I'm just gonna shoot from the hip.
Hey, you got to. Homie.
It's just the facts are the facts. If they're not facts, then I don't know.
And you have a responsibility because, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, when you stand next to them, people look at you like guilty by association.
No, I've definitely heard a little chitter chatter like, what the fuck's up with Eyekon being over there? But I mean, what's the fuck up with people fucking looking at false reports? The most viral fucking clip that's gone up is from that fool 44 XL or 44 Vato or something like that. The whole story's fucked up. They're saying Duno got fired, AD got fired, and this and that.
Like that?
Yeah, and then the chain of events that took place, like the timeline, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
It's just so fucked up. It's telephone. I told you, you told the statue told Critical told my nephew, then they told the publicist, then they told your lady told my lady told her tia, and then her nephew posted it.
Hey, but her tia knows all the shit though. So if it comes from her tia, I'm gonna take it, homie, because that's the hood reporter.
You're
right
a
there.
fucking fool. That was slick. No one's ever said no funny shit like
Hey,
that. That's
you got
good.
it, homie. Hey,
that
dog,
was slick.
What do you think is holding back our culture as far as moving forward? I know you answered earlier as far as who's most commercial, all that.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the final straw moving into 23 to 24 that could possibly get someone to
This
get
is
there?
gonna sound real fucking kumbaya-ish, but it's really just fucking unity.
Hey, I'm asking again for a reason because we emphasize it on every show, and I think it's important that people really get that driven through their head.
But the likelihood of that taking place is in a competitive sport. This is not a team sport. I mean, it could be a team sport if you're from a label, but then you might have a Phil Jackson type figure. You know what I'm saying? But if you're all by yourself, you're not gonna really want to see the next man fucking really.
Well, call me Phil Jackson, doggy, because I'm out here getting everybody together. Young Drummer Boy and King Lil G haven't spoken years, and they're about to do shows together now.
I'm very close with Young Drummer, so I'm totally familiar.
And let me tell you, Young Drummer didn't even want to do it. When I hit him up, he was like, "Nah, homie, like, what's he saying about me?"
I'm not even gonna say what I may or may not know, but I mean, what you're saying ain't wrong either.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
It ain't wrong. and we had to not force, but put him in a position where I was like, "Look, little homie, like, pull up, and I'm gonna show you that it's all love." He sent the message with love.
And you did show him off air before you even started, like a real G.
Like a real motherfucker. And at the end of the day, Dopey had his feelings about King Little G, and he was starting to say it on my show, and King Little G called in. So then I went out of my way.
I didn't watch that interview, but that's dope.
Bozo and Capone, I just watched their shit.
And I
Bozo
called,
and Capone are cool now.
yeah, I just did it 2 days ago.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and they were like super not feeling each other.
Oh no, trust me, I know Bozo pretty well.
So now since this fucking conversation came out, now Criminal and Eyekon are cool. Look at that. Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing.
We let the whole world know.
Brownside and High Power.
Brownside and High Power, Marlo Mack and Criminal. We all good. Who else? YB and come on. Who else did we highlight tonight? It's a lot of good people, good shit. There ain't no beefs out here. Well, at the end of the day, we're showing that we could get past any bullshit and the chitter chatter and any type of bullshit that people put out there.
Absolutely.
And you hear straight from the real people, and we have to show the next generation that that's just a thing of the past.
It's gonna be a process, but I think you're definitely on the right path.
Should we squash 6? What was like Bozo, Capone, Drummer Boy, Young Dopey, King Little G? That's five lives affected. I truly believe that any of those dudes, if they seen each other at the height of this beef, nobody's gonna turn that shit down.
It wouldn't have been fucking.
Nah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So the fact that I could sleep a little better at night knowing that, you know what I'm saying?
It's fucking
That makes
amazing.
me feel good.
It really
And I
is.
did a lot of bad shit in my life, so when I talk about redeeming myself, that's a little notch back up. I'm like, hell yeah, homie, we knocked some of that bad shit down. You know what I mean?
That's fucking pretty crazy, fool.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, huh?
What does Capone think about all of this shit? I've never met that man in person, by the way.
He told me that he thought it was amazing. He told me that he always
That's very
looked at
dope.
me. He told me the other day on the phone that he always looked at me like I was one of the smartest dudes that he's known, especially on the label, being how young I was always solid. He's like, if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be you. Because he knows how I always rode. He knows how I stood up. And he knows I ain't no punk. He knows how either way it will go. You know what I'm saying? But when I stand on
clearly you're
something, I
passionate,
believe
right?
it. When I believe in something, I'm going to ride for it. And I believe in this. I believe in our people. I believe in the culture. And look, when I first got in the rap game, I always said it was to help elevate our people in our community, because I did believe that the ones that rap before us were just on oldie beats, talking about like sitting in the park on the oldie beat. Like, it's too whack, huh? Like, we brought bars to the table, we brought original beats, all this shit, right? And then, like you said, King Lil G and Drummer took it to a different level with their newer sound, the trap, all that, right? So we need to keep on leveling it up. And if you have a part on your podcast and you could educate the next little homie, if I have a part of my podcast with my catalog or anything that I'm dropping new to educate the next little homie that might be the one, then we did our job, homeboy.
What would you say about the little youngsters that are saying the N-word so much?
I don't like that shit. I never did.
What do we do to correct that?
Exactly what I've been doing. I've been highlighting real ones out here with influence and asking their opinion on camera so motherfuckers could reflect and look in the mirror. It's not our position to say it. Young Dopey had the most intelligent answer I've ever heard. He said, "I'm gonna tell you what I told my brothers in time of war in the jail, homie." He's like, motherfuckers came up to us and asked me respectfully, shot callers, like, "Look, homie, these fools are throwing around this name like it ain't nobody's business. Like, we had ancestors die for this shit. We went through so much for this name, and you guys are tossing this shit around like nothing. Like, let's have a little respect." So I feel like if that's the way that culture feels, then we should respect that. They ain't walking around calling everybody wetbacks because it's a fun thing to say. Like, "What's up, wetback, nigga? What's up, wetback?"
I had
like,
this exact conversation on No Jumper.
Yeah.
We're not addressing each other as my Bina
Yeah,
or
that's
my
some bullshit.
Wetter or my
Nah.
Mojado or no weird shit like
I
that.
think
You know what I'm saying?
that falls into the category of our people not being led right, and I think it's true. I think so many people were victimized by my generation, by the cholos and the bald heads and the gangsters, that they try to get away from it. Now let's get away from this. Come on, now we.
I'm
Come
like,
on,
maybe
nigga.
you're still bald till this moment.
Nah, because what I'm saying is because they were victimized so much by
Absolutely.
that crowd, they try to do anything to get away from it.
That could be.
Let's make Fools Gone Wild and make fun of it. Let's do this. Do you know that half the fools that them fools on Fools Gone Wild clown was out of whoever's running that page if they made fun of them in their face?
So you don't like Fools Gone Wild?
They're cool. That's not my point, though. My point is not if I like them or not. That's not the topic of the conversation. My topic of the conversation is when you're clowning real motherfuckers behind a screen, and if you had the opportunity to clown those same dudes that you're making fun of on a camera, driving by in a car, and you actually stopped and be like, "Hey, fool, stock check." Oh, that motherfucker. Homie, come on.
There's a high likelihood. There's a very high
Absolutely,
likelihood.
homie. So I believe my point, it wasn't about if I like Fools or Gone Wild or not. They follow me and I follow them. I'm like one of only like 200 people they follow. So I don't have a problem with them. I have a problem with the fact that our people are being made fun of on all levels and being dismissed on all levels. And now it's to the point the generations are saying that shit because everybody wants to get away from us. And I know where that comes from. Because motherfuckers couldn't make it in this genre, and they tried. They put on the big Ben Davises, they put on the Cortezes, they shaved their head, but they flopped. So they had to go that route. You feel me? And I know it because I seen it with my own eyes. I seen all these motherfuckers do it.
No, we seen them all come and we seen them all.
I seen them
go.
all do it, homie. Every single one of them. There's motherfuckers that used to come up to me that don't dress nothing like that now. They used to be asking me about everything about my dress.
How you dress like? Where you buy this? Where you buy this? Where you get that? So I see all that fugazi.
You sent him to Greenspans or what? Shout out to Greenspans.
My whole point is this, dog. That we have too many followers. And I
Not
think
enough
that,
leaders.
I think that our position, circling back to the question you asked, is we need to highlight it. We need to have these conversations. We need to talk about it. We need to have the pride. There needs to be moments where I get upset. There needs to be moments where people like you get upset. Whoever's in position and control, because the fucking shit needs to change. Homes. And I'm tired of people not having the pride, because I got the pride. And I know for a fact if we all had that fire in us, we would be there already. And that's what I think
That's
it is.
facts.
It's the fact that nobody's proud to be this shit no more. Like I told King Little G, when I went to the YG and Mustard show with Capone, we went to go deal with Mustard on some beats. The whole fucking line wrapped around the whole House of Blues was nothing but
Homies,
Rasa.
yep.
So where the fuck is that? What part of the game is that, homie? You know, but you won't see a bunch of homies like that lined up to a homie show. It's gonna be more females. Because the
Absolutely.
homies are
cool.
too pride.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not from my barrio, homie. But every single female from their hood wants to pull up. That shit don't make sense. But you'll go support YG and go throw your fucking chonies at them, your red chonies on top of that. Get the fuck out of here, homie. That's what we need to do as a community to clean up. That's what I really do believe.
It's really just a fucking pride issue for a lot of people, dog. And there's a lot of wishy-washy motherfuckers that have been put to the forefront that ended up just falling off and disappearing into the fucking night. You know
That's
what I'm
why
saying?
we're here now. And I'm not going nowhere. You're going to have to kill me to get rid of my
I think
voice.
that's literally what me and you had said in the DMs, that only the real have survived thus
That's it.
far. You know what I'm saying?
You can't any other way. Everybody else that come and go, they didn't have the love in their heart, like I said, from the gate, so they don't belong here. They're one of them fools that came and said, I want to be a construction worker. Let me try to buy these tools, and they fell off. They don't even know how to fucking charge the first drill.
Could I be honest? That's my true definition of a culture vulture. Someone that tries to fucking be down and just falls off because they don't really have it in them. You know what I'm
There's a
saying?
lot of those. And unfortunately, coming in the rap game, you're going to see that shit, and it's never going to stop. They're going to be doing something completely different.
Yeah.
And they're going to be jumping ship and doing something else. But hey, man, well, this was a fucking dope convo, homie. I love the way, hey, I'm going to be real. I've been in here the whole time, and I ain't been fired up like this the whole time. You're definitely someone that charges emotions. But I felt like something was going to come out in a respectful way, because I have passion in the things we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So it was supposed to be that way. If you have anything that you want to let the people know what's cracking, you got your new podcast?
Nah, yeah, it's called The Sauce. It's me and my bro, Smoke Major. He's also been down since way back then, at least from when I started, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out Smoke Major.
Yep, he's definitely seen quite a bit. And
He's from Whittier, right?
yeah. So you know, baby, I like that shit. Yeah, he go by
Come on, tap in.
Godsmoke LA on Instagram.
Shout out
you know
to the
what I'm
homie
saying?
Smoke Major.
The Sauce TV's the podcast. As you know, I got my wife's podcast, Indicted. That's more like a series, though. Podcast is us talking shit like this. Hers is more of a serious conversation. Not that our shit isn't highly serious. Hers is just a little different type of serious. You know what I'm saying? And that shit's going extremely well. That's Indicted TV on Instagram. Yeah,
Shout out
it's
to
doing
her.
really, really
Hell
well.
yeah, I see that.
If you got any homies that want to come talk about their feelings and their experiences in that particular situation, shoot them my way.
For sure, I will.
We don't. I mean, if you've watched, we don't touch what we're not supposed to touch.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
As you should. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. That's that honor.
Because you
again, know what I'm saying?
guys really come from it.
Yeah, you know
You're
what
not
I'm
from
saying?
the outside trying to report on it.
Absolutely fucking not. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. All I'm focusing on is my wife's shit and my shit. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do at No Jumper. I still shoot videos here and there for the right people. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, dog. If I could say anything to the people, though, if you're a young homie watching this, I don't know what fucking camera to look into, but I would say be yourself. Be your true, authentic self. You know what I'm saying, big dogs? Be your true, authentic self. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to be crime. You're never going to be me. You're never going to be whoever the fuck it is you're not. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to pick up that mic, understand it takes a lot, and once you get to a certain point, it comes with a lot of responsibility, and people lose relationships with friends, fucking family, fucking wives, girlfriends, fucking whoever. You know what I'm saying? Money is a very peculiar thing if you ever get to touch it off this rap shit, so I suggest to tread very carefully. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, that was spoken like a true gentleman. And now we got you in the hot seat. I'm gonna say we're all watching you, we're all supporting you.
I highly appreciate it.
We all expect you to represent us the right way. So I know when you get asked the question, you're gonna highlight that shit. And I know you're gonna be like, let me tell you, let me break this shit down. You're gonna say everybody's name except for Mr. Criminal. I know that, Wes.
Duh.
That's the way everybody does it. But it's like somehow they forget the most highest selling Latin rap artist of the West Coast from the last 20 years. shit's crazy to me, critical. But hey, it's nuts. It's nuts. But hey, it is what it is.
I
Hey,
gave you your flowers, fool.
Nah, you did.
I
You
could have
did.
fucking been like, I don't know.
Nah, we're good. We good. Me and you were straight, dog. You came in here with love. I embraced it with love, and that's
right.
what it is, dog.
Nah, and of course, much respect to King Little G. You know what I'm saying? That's very dope that him and a dopey and young drummer connected.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely thanks to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
knows? Who knows how long it would have taken for those conversations to ever happen organically outside of someone, pushing the issue. You know what I'm
You know what
saying?
made me really feel good and like it was real? Because like a week later, they still hadn't talked, I guess. Because all of a sudden I get a message in the morning like King Little G had been FaceTiming me and chopping it up with me. And the drummer's like thanking me and shit on the other side. And he's like, yo, shoot me G's number. And at the same time, he's like, shoot me drummer's number. I'm
Bam.
like, what the fuck? That's crazy. I was like, man, people wouldn't even believe if I put this shit out there. They literally asked at the same time. So that shit was meant to be.
Some things aren't coincidence.
Yeah,
you know what
and
I'm
I was
saying?
like, damn, I really am in the middle of this shit. That's when it really hit me. I was like, okay, this is beyond my podcast. Like, I got to really hit drummer and be like, fool, G wants your number. G, drummer said, cool. I was like, that's crazy, dog. You know?
That's
So,
tight.
God put you in crazy positions in life, but
I mean,
glad to see
I'm
that.
privy to certain things that they're already doing. You know what I'm saying? Or not. Just
Or
saying.
not.
Yeah.
I could say the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say
You
it.
know what's up?
Yeah. Shout out
That's
to
amazing,
everybody.
though, right, fool?
It's amazing,
Crazy.
dog. And it's a dope thing to see the culture already making these movements and not wasting no time because we only got one life to live and we got to put it down for our people. Straight up.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Well, that's it, man. 2023, we got the homie Eyekon in the building.
Much love, man.
Much love to you and everything
Highly
you're doing.
appreciate
We're
it.
going to continue to support you. I will
Absolutely.
be watching No Jumper now because you're on there and I will be checking out what you got cracking.
Highly appreciate it, my
And I'm
dog.
going to support, homie, and I encourage my people too because I know that you're going to take your klecha and run with that shit and do it the right way over there. 'Cause
Absolutely.
You do stand for honor and you got something that you represent. Well, that's it. 2023 Critical. Anything else before we get up out of here?
Man, I'm just excited for what we got.
Yeah?
We got coming out, man.
What do we got?
Who's coming up next?
Oh, we got God Got Me.
We got God Got Me. We
We
got Young
Impa-
Dopey.
Young Dopey.
Young Dopey's coming again?
Hell yeah. we got-
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
Cat
thought you meant music.
Oh,
music.
nah,
but-
nah.
Nah, we're talking about music.
Go ahead, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, no.
I can't
music.
tell you who we coming. Nah, fuck that. That's top secret shit.
Yeah.
You'll see it though. We got a lot of.
Hey,
cool
what's the
people.
likelihood of you coming over to my shit?
Send the invitation.
I
If
got
it's
you.
if it's you, I'm gonna pull up.
It's me and Smoke Major.
Let's go.
Perfect.
I'm gonna pull up for sure. You
I
already
highly
hear it. I'll be
appreciate
on. What did you say the podcast is called?
The sauce.
The Sauce Podcast.
The Sauce TV.
Hey, I want to ask you a question before we go. You're in charge of that shit? Someone put, is Mr. Criminal bringing unity amongst Southern California rappers?
I definitely already have a person that's in charge of that, but I definitely signed off on it.
That's
I
dope.
definitely reposted this
So
shit.
you really felt that way?
Yeah, it's as if it's not cap, it's facts.
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
work off of facts. I work off facts even more than pride. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
dope.
Facts are facts. The truth is the truth. And if it wasn't the truth, I wouldn't even be fucking sitting here.
That's love. Well, you guys
Facts.
heard it right there. We're doing our mission, and other people are noticing. So that's a good thing. We're doing our thing.
No, you're
people.
doing your thing, dog.
Hell yeah. Much
Spreading
love.
the gospel of love and positivity,
That's the way it should
especially
be.
amongst homies.
Like I said, it's easy to tear something down, but it takes a lot longer to build something.
Building is way more
And it
difficult.
lasts a lot longer, and you appreciate it a lot more.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody. Before we get up out of here, I respect everybody's beliefs, but I gotta say my weekly prayer. And that's how we're going to do it.
Let's do it.
Father God, I come to you today to thank you so much for another positive energy interview. Shout out to our brother Eyekon for pulling up last minute notice and spreading love and spreading positivity. Shout out to everybody out there subscribing and tapping in weekly. We want to make sure that everybody has a blessed week and blessed journey and destiny. In God's name, amen.
Amen.
That's how we do it. You know how we do it. 2023, Mr. Criminal, the livest podcast on the West Coast and most active. And you heard it here first. And we out. West.
Much love.